down Louisiana, Big Bayou. He was here a couple weeks ago up at the Rain Dog Parade in Mount Adams, going to the Bengals games, kissing babies, shaking hands. Coach's Clicker every Tuesday, 5:30 right here on Chatterbox. Coach Kyle Caskey. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good. You mentioned kissing babies and shaking hands this morning. I was playing with my 2-year-old, and he just knocked the fire out of me. So if I'm bleeding off my nose this morning, I apologize. I got beat up.
You know, it's funny you say that because a long time ago when our kids were really little, we're out playing putt-putt. My son, my daughter, and me, and my daughter might have been about 4 or 5. She puts her ball in the hole, and, everybody else's ball, it doesn't make any difference. She whirls around with one of those putters, and pow! Right in my eye. I'm just gushing blood all over the place, whole 9 yards. She reminds me of that at least once every couple of months now. So join the club. Welcome to the club.
Hey,
all right,
here.
what do you think here? What do you think? Do they have a chance? The Bengals this Sunday in Kansas City.
Having a chance and being the NFL the way it is, I think are two different things. The way the Bengals played the other day, if they play anything like they did the other day, I don't think they have a chance. Now, if they come back to, say, 2 weeks ago, the Colts game, the way that they played with the guys they have that were playing at the time, and I mentioned, being the collective group, that's the kind of stuff that you need to see from them on offense. Kansas City's defense is stout, and I know their secondaries had some issues and things, but I mean, they only gave up 3 points to Vegas the other day. Now, Vegas didn't throw the ball in the second half at all, literally, but the only thing that won that game for them, and I've got some clips here in a minute, is you talk about 15 points in 7 seconds on defense, and that included a 2-point conversion, but right now, I mean, the Bengals have got to get something going against that defense. And then, I mean, defensively, you just got to stop those broken plays. And I know everybody keeps talking about how the receivers aren't what they used to be, but it's the broken plays, the scramble drills. If they can stop those from happening and keep that kind of off schedule play from happening for Kansas City, they got a chance. But that's a lot to ask right now.
Well, okay. I know that you sent Casey some plays that we want to look at and talk about. So do you know where you're starting here, Casey, with Coach?
Fumble return.
Okay, fumble return. What are we talking about here, Coach?
So I heard y'all talking about trick plays earlier. Well, they were trying a trick play here. And, yeah, here's the thing. Sometimes you just get too cute. And this is kind of what the Bengals have gotten into. And, again, I'm not sure if this was going to be a handoff to Mahomes, because if you watch 17, the guy coming in that motion, he's kind of slowing down like he's about to be pitched the ball and then pass it. Because watch, Kelsey and them are running routes. I think this was going to be a handoff to Mahomes, a pitch to 17, and then a double pass, another pass. That's what I think this was going to be, and they just screwed up the handoff. And there's 7 points right there. That they might have gone for 2 on that one. So. But there's, either 7 or 8 points right there. I mean, right off the bat. And again, it's getting too tricky. So I would say you might not see as much of that versus the Bengals, just because they're probably going to say, listen, guys, let's just go win this game. Let's try not to be too tricky. This next play is the very next offensive play. So obviously they scored, so they kicked back off to Kansas City. I want you to watch. Mahomes has no pressure. He's going to roll to the right here. I want you to watch the guy number 2 here, not number 2, but the number 2 guy running kind of a corner route. If you can rewind that right there to the front, it's the guy lined up right inside the numbers, the number 2 receiver from the outside. He's wide open.
Wide open.
And again, I don't know why Mahomes didn't see that, but you throw a pass right there into a corner that's just sitting there. Now I think they were high-low in that guy, but again. I mean, he's coming open. You don't have any pressure. Keep rolling a little bit. Let it develop. And he just, because if you watch right here, like in all reality, it's just a naked. There's no pressure on him. So again, that's not Mahomes like, and I think that's something I guarantee he's going to watch and say, we can't allow that to happen again. I've got to have patience and try to get the ball to some guy, no matter who it is. Just get the ball to him. This third one here now. This was a 3rd and 12. Okay, and you want to watch the receiver at the bottom of the screen. He's going to run kind of a little comeback here, and he's going to catch it at 11. Now, I think the receivers in the past for Kansas City would have known, and again, the throw wasn't great. The throw was at 10, 11 yards too. So there's something off right now with Mahomes and his receivers that isn't normal right here, because again, that play right there should have converted. And again, it didn't. And, it's one of those things where they're just a touch off. And that's, that's not a big deal for, people are going to go, well, that, 3rd and 12, you don't convert very often, but when it's there, it's there. The championship teams that they've had have converted that. And then the last play I got on the Chiefs today, this was incomplete after review, but this was another interception at first. Watch number 83. It's going to be at the top of the screen. He's the guy outside running towards the sideline. See how he keeps going and then he doesn't come back? And that's when Mahomes is like, you saw it on the TV copy. He's like, keep coming. Because if you watch it from this angle, 83 is going to kind of run like a little wheel route here. Chip, and he's run like a little wheel route, and you'll see him scramble over here. This is where the big plays are made, and he's not coming back to the ball yet. You see him waiting for him? Most of the time they're tied in. Like if that was Kelsey, I think that play is not what it is. And again, you can see he's looking elsewhere. And then, come back, because somebody come back, somebody get open. And that's where they're lacking right now on offense. I could have thrown out a bunch of defensive clips of them, just trouncing the offense. But I think that's where right there, if the Bengals can, take Kelsey out of the game, which teams are doing, they're double teaming and sometimes triple teaming Kelsey, take him out of the game. Don't allow these broken plays to happen. And again, if you can keep Mahomes in the pocket, like that 3rd and 12 throw where he was throwing off his back foot and kind of getting hit, they can do that. Just cause him to be a little bit off schedule is not the word, because off schedule is where they're good. Get him off balance a little bit to where he's playing without, where he can't just be him and go out and run around and do these sidearm throws and things. Make him actually have to play quarterback in the pocket. And I don't think the receivers he has other than Kelsey can make it happen. And he's going to be doubled.
I'm curious, and maybe, Coach, it's a combination of a lot of different things here. But look, when you just look at pure numbers and then you go by the eyeball test of watching Kansas City, and it seems like every one of their games is a primetime game or a late afternoon, Sunday afternoon, so they're getting the big audience going coast to coast. Rightfully so. They've earned it. They're the defending Super Bowl champs. And Mahomes has been the best player in the league for the last 4 or 5 years now. But when you look at their team, and we know all about the wide receiver situation, a lot of the drops, they let Tyreek Hill go. They've tried to plug it with Juju and some other guys here. The rookie's playing better at wide receiver, really, than any of the other guys they have there. Yep. Although on any given game, any of those guys is more than capable of having a good game. But is this just is this one of those, as you're going through the season week by week, and you've been in the locker room and on the sideline of NFL teams for many, many, many years, it's not that you say, gosh, we're just not the same, we're not going to fix it. But is there a feeling, an unspoken feeling in the room, in the locker room, where guys are looking around and they're just like, man, something just ain't right?
Yeah, that's real now. When you're – and frustrations are real too, because you're talking about a guy like you mentioned Kelsey earlier being probably the second best tight end in league history behind his own former, chief there, Antonio Gonzalez. And you got a guy in Mahomes who, in all reality, if he were to play at the level he's played at over time, could be one of the best quarterbacks in league history too. Now, when you go in those locker rooms and you've got younger guys that haven't maybe been a part of what they've been a part of, it's hard for them to understand that, listen, if we keep doing what we know how to do, we can still win. And Andy Reid hadn't forgotten how to coach. I do think Eric Bieniemy not being there, I think that has been a little bit of a detriment, because I think he's proven in Washington that he's taken a team that didn't have a whole lot of talent, had some speed at receiver, but not a whole lot of, experienced talent, and has done pretty well offensively. I don't think the offense in Washington has been the full problem there, but again, I think you take those creativity things that he brought to the table away from it. But Andy Reid hadn't forgot how to coach.
Right.
They've got a great defense there. They just got to come together. The things they're doing on the sideline, throwing the helmets, yelling at each other, honestly, maybe Kelsey should tell Taylor to stay away for a couple games, just, hey, let me be me you go do your thing, go get your next Eras tour ready to go. And, let's let us focus on this for right now, and I'll see you when we get back into what we should be. But again, and I'm not joking when I say that. I think there are distractions because you got to think the highest security in that building is probably for her. It ain't for the rest of the people in there.
No doubt about that.
There's a lot of distraction with that.
There's no question. Anybody believes otherwise, they're just not paying attention to what's going on. All right, you got to make a prediction for us here, Coach. What do you think?
Yeah, y'all aren't going to like my prediction this week, but I do think it's going to be the Chiefs. I think it's going to be probably a not as high of a scoring game as probably people think. I'm thinking 24-17, somewhere in that range. If the Bengals, I'll tell you this, if the Bengals do run the ball and get a little game clock control going, that would help them out a ton because the explosiveness of Kansas City, they don't need a whole lot of time to score. So the more you can keep them off the field and the fewer drives they have, obviously, I think that would help out a ton. But if they get to where it's pass, and it's 3 and out, 5 and out, whatever it is, it might be a long day.
All right, buddy. Well, have a great weekend with your family. The final days here of 2023, and a happy New Year, Coach. We appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year to all you guys out there and you guys there.
All right, buddy. Coach Kyle Caskey, he's going to be back coaching again. He's got to be. Somebody out there has got to bring that guy back in to coach again. Hey, what's happening? Hope you're enjoying the video. Hope you enjoyed the video and all of the content we have here on Chatterbox Sports. We appreciate you joining us, whether it's on Off the Bench, whether it's on Chatterbox Reds, Chatterbox Bengals, Chatterbox Bearcats, whatever we have going on. We appreciate you joining us, and there's lots of content here. I feel like I'm a friend of Bob Barker's. Content here. There is so much more on Chatterbox, okay? So please continue to join us. Thank you.